Alright, last game today with the Lannister Banner of the Dragon. The opponent is playing Conclave, Night's Watch Conclave, so props to him, playing something weird. I tip my hat to this guy. Let's see what happens. I got a good feeling about today. I feel like it's going to be a good game, man. I don't know. I'm hyped. I say that and it's going to turn out well. Okay. I was going to make a weird comment, but I immediately take that back. What the heck? Alright, I have no idea what this guy's doing. I enjoy that. That's a good thing. Do something weird, buddy. Show me something here. Honestly, like, what do you even do with Conclave? I'm honestly not sure what real purpose the agenda serves. I've just seen it so rarely. I don't even know what a Conclave deck is supposed to look like. Whenever I get around to using it, well, shoot, he frickin' got me. I guess that was bound to happen sooner or later. Yeah, when I get around to making Conclave decks, it's sort of like I think of it like a deck filter, sort of, because, you can pick out one of the 7 cards, and, whichever one you think is going to be better, and put it on top. So you can use it to, like, assemble combos, I think, is sort of one way to think about it. So if I'm playing Baratheon, I could use it to make sure that I find my Iron Throne and Chamber of the Painted Table, because one of those will probably be under my agenda, and I can swap it to be the top card of the deck and draw it. I think that's kind of what I would try to do with it. So like with Night's Watch, you could use it to find your core set Wall, Haunted Forest, Craven, Veteran Builder, and Flea Bottom, and get your wall set up really quickly and easily. But this guy is using this core set Jon Snow, so I don't think that's what he's doing. Like I said, I have no idea what he's doing. That's also pretty weird, Ghost. Maester Kedri. Alright, 3 gold. Still enough to marshal his star. Haha. But not enough to marshal anything else, sadly. Let's do this. Yeah, because we have 0, and if we reduce Cersei, she costs 1, so we have to pass. Sad times, but given that I started with a 2 gold plot, I don't think I can complain too much. I'll just go ahead and use his star's dupe for the military claim here. I don't have Valar Morghulis, and if he has it, that's fine. He wants to Valar his side of the board. I'm more than happy with him doing that. What if he knelt Maester Kedri to play put to the sword? That would be pretty dank. Nope. Oh, damn, I can't defend because Ghost nuked him. That's frustrating. Well, I'll still defend with my 2 chomps. Since I have his Dar and Plaza, I really want to protect my hand if possible. I could use Plaza just to win an intrigue against him, stand Missandei or something, but that's really not worth it. So I'll just do a power. Next plot is probably Noble Cause and then Jaime, so that I'll have a military icon. So if I do Noble Cause, I'm going to be collecting 6, and Jaime will cost 0 with the Great Halls. I can marshal Cersei and the Gold Road. And then the Gold Road will give me 1 for Treachery. So basically play my whole hand without even needing to use his star. So let's see what we draw. He didn't actually win a challenge with the Maester that turn, so he didn't actually get to use his agenda yet. Building orders, that's quite strange. I'm not sure what that could be for. Let's find out. Maybe Milk of the Poppy? That'll make me pretty sad. Although again, I actually think I'll be able to get by pretty much fine without his star's ability. Eastwatch by the Sea, okay. Sure, buddy, draw some cards. I am fine with that. Look at Maester Kedri, dude. He's so like, how you say? He's like a looker, man. He looks fine. That's a handsome Maester right there. What's his flavor text say? Heed his counsel. He devoted half his life to the study of the 9 free cities. Yeah, I bet he studies some other stuff too, if you know what I mean. Alright, let's see if we can draw into a flea bottom target. Since we have flea bottom now. Whenever he gets done marshalling over there, spends the last 2 gold. The Bay of Seals, what the... Oh, man. Well, I don't think this does anything yet. That's kind of spooky, because that indicates it could be a 6-cost wall. If this is a 6-cost wall deck, I don't think he's built it properly, but it could be, I suppose. Well, let's do this. Think I want Jaime over Dario? Yeah, definitely. Then I can marshal either Tyrion or Cersei. Honestly, I think it's better to just marshal Cersei and not trigger his star. It's like the difference between Cersei and Tyrion is really not very much this turn. I'll have 1 gold for Treachery anyways, and there's like nothing that I clearly need to use Treachery on. And so the gold gain from Tyrion is not very relevant. Cersei's 2 intrigue claim might actually be more useful than that. Maester Miles still cannot use his ability on anything. I think it has to be a 1-cost character. Printed cost equal to the number of plot cards, yep. Next turn he'll be able to use it on Missandei. As I said in my pack review for whenever this guy came out, not that great of a card. If you're like doing icon removal and a used plots theme, like a Martell Wars deck, then he could actually become pretty good, I think. But it's just a random character to toss in a deck? Nah, not worth it. I'd probably rather have like Maester of Sunspear or something. I'm not too worried about playing into Valar Morghulis because I have Tyrion and Dario in my hand and a gold mine to help me like find more characters to play. I haven't played any draw plots yet. I have a good amount of economy. I should be fine if there's a Valar Morghulis. I'm not gonna treachery the ghost ability on Jaime. I'm fine with Jaime not defending anyways. Come on, apply your claim. Let me click Missandei. There. Next turn, I might even use Close Call on Missandei. Gives me a flea bottom target. That actually seems like the most reasonable thing to do. Since I'm not quite sure what he might do, I don't feel like I need to play a draw plot yet. Seems like an overall solid option. Well, I have to kneel my whole board to defend this. Defending with Cersei is unfortunate. Probably still worth it. Oh, I don't know. I guess it's more efficient to let him have this one. If it was not for the fact that Cersei can discard 2 cards out of his hand, I probably would have defended that. What are you looking at the top card of my deck for? Why would you do that? Oh, he doesn't know I have Flea Bottom yet. I haven't played it yet. That's just rude. Milling my deck. You scumbag. I guess that sort of makes sense with the Bay of Seals there. Because that means he probably has like Yoren and Guarding the Realm. It's actually going to be pretty unfortunate if he's able to use those on my Hound. No! You got my Flea Bottom? Shoot! I should have defended it. So if he wants to do Guarding the Realm on the Hound, that's actually probably fine, because that's one of the most annoying characters to take under your control from the opponent for obvious reasons. In order to actually win any challenges, he'll have to like discard cards or give the Hound back to me. Okay, maybe I'll use Exchange of Information now, damn it. This guy's also kind of slow playing. But he's not playing one of the various decks that I strongly dislike, so I'm not going to hold it against him. I've got a tier list of stuff that I don't like. See, mostly Targaryen and Free Folk with honorable mention to Ward. I really don't enjoy losing to Ward. It's like turn 1, they just put ward on, whatever small character of yours, and then, what? Yeah, you can cancel the challenge if you really want. I don't think you need to do that. You can just like hit pass and not declare any attackers, and it cancels the challenge usually. Alright. I'll do the military first in case he feels like killing Kedri for claim. But I'm like 90% sure the claim will be Maester Miles. It would be quite strange to choose his glass candle character instead of his other 2-cost dude that is fairly useless. Looks like it's waiting to give him a prompt to use something. That means he probably has healing expertise. Interesting. Five-cost Maester Aemon and Grizzled Miner. Grizzled Miner, Corset Jon Snow, Ghost, Conclave agenda with these what do you call them? Martell Maesters, and the Bay of Seals. I think this guy officially has the weirdest deck I've seen in quite a while. This literally feels like just some totally random ass cards slapped together with no real coherence that I can see. Don't I have confiscation? I don't have confiscation in this deck? Huh. Alright, let's do exchange. The exchange is still fine because we have his star, so it's also basically an economy plot. Even though we have expensive dudes in our hand, it's fine to use it. Maybe he'll play Valar Morghulis. Who knows? You never know when they're going to Valar. Could have also done trade routes, but I think this is a more solid option. Want to save trade routes, like if at all possible, in case he does do a reset at some point. Oh, excuse me. Just play Summer Harvest? Huh. Also quite a bizarre plot deck. He played Varys' Riddle into building orders to get Eastwatch by the Sea, and then Summer Harvest on turn 3. Which is a pretty bad play, because this is like usually a time when people would be using trade routes. Not really sure, like... Yeah, there's not that many plots that I would be likely to reveal here that would be a good Summer Harvest target. I would never use Late Summer Feast or Trading Cure, even if I had them, which I basically never do. Because with this many locations, it's better to just use trade routes. Oh, excuse me. Oh, goodness. Alright, I'm gonna get up and pour myself a little coffee while he's doing that. So it is guarding the realm. That makes me feel better about my flea bottom getting discarded, since I lost my flea bottom dude anyways. And obviously that is, he's gonna have to discard his hand to actually use that character, unless he wants to just give it back to me, so I'm fine with him using his guarding on the hound. Benjen Stark, another totally random card with no real rhyme or reason that I can see. I don't understand what the guy's strategy is with this deck. I don't know what he's trying to do or what he's trying to accomplish. This is definitely one of the weirder decks that I've ever seen in the game. Well, I have Great Hall, so I guess I'm supposed to marshal Dario. Man. Sure, let's do it. Let's mill, Illyrio. Damn, I can't afford any of this. Well, let's mill the duplicate. Could marshal Eerie, but with 0 gold, it's not really worth it. There's no good targets for this milk, so I'll just hold that as well. I think my board is... Oh, I guess I took that outside of my turn, but he'll let me have that, I'm sure. I think my board is still fine, even though his board is fairly large. None of his characters are particularly good. I guess that Jon Snow is kind of annoying now that he can do 3 challenges, but he can't take milk, so it is what it is. Just have to deal with it, man. I actually don't really want to fulfill military claim this turn. That blows. I don't think there's anything I can do about it either, because he has that pesky stealth. Well, probably have to kill Shay. Next turn is probably trade routes. If he's generous, what'll happen is Dario will take his steward at the wall, and then for military claim he'll kill my hound. Then I do close call to put the hound back in the flea bottom pile. Of course, I would have to actually draw another flea bottom, so maybe I wouldn't actually do that. But if I had flea bottom, that would be a dank play. Come on, dude, this isn't that complicated. You use Ghost, Stealth past Dario, that's 7, I can't defend it. Then use frickin' Benjen Stark, that's an 8 strength power. I can defend it if I want, but it wouldn't be very appealing. And then you just do an intrigue with Jon by himself. And I probably will defend, or at least be able to defend the intrigue, but there's nothing he can do about that. He doesn't have enough intrigue icons. But yeah, I would say it's a fairly straightforward turn for him. He doesn't really need to use the hound to win any challenges on offense, unless he's just dead set on winning a power challenge. But if he makes even the power challenge with Benjen and Jon Snow for 8 strength, I probably would not defend that. Okay, he really wants to win a power challenge. I mean, I'm going to defend it with Shay, but I'm not going to kneel all 3 of these to defend that. It's not really worth it just for 1 power. Because I'm going to be able to win a power challenge back against him anyways. Oh, come on, dude. Hit pass. Ugh. I don't think there's anything I could possibly need treachery for at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and stand there. If he wants to use Bay of Seals on my Hound and trigger the Hound's force reaction twice, I'm not going to stop him from doing that. I guess throwing Kedri into the challenge makes sense, because he was unlikely to win a challenge with Kedri otherwise. Like with Kedri in the challenge, and this way he gets to use his agenda. Plus Kedri has insight from that glass candle, so that makes sense. He probably should have done military first, because like, when he does military, I'm just going to kill Shay. So if he had done military and then done that, he could have probably gotten it unopposed. Poor Shay. She didn't deserve to go out this way. Eaten by a dire wolf. Doesn't Shay like betray Tyrion or something like that in the books? And she like sleeps with Tywin? Maybe she does deserve to go out this way. Did not want to draw Archmaester's Key. Can't blame him, that's a pretty terrible card. Doesn't this kneel the attached character? Yeah, you have to kneel the character it's attached to. It's so bad. Like, maybe if you didn't have to kneel the character, even then it would be bad, because it's so frequently going to just literally be a dead card that does absolutely nothing. Because the other person has to actually have an event in their discard pile. And there's definitely going to be quite a few games where, you know, for the first 3 turns of the game, or even potentially the whole game, the other person just doesn't play any events. Like, there's a lot of decks that run maybe 3 to 6 events total. My deck is one of them. I have 6 events in the deck. I haven't had any reason to play my treacheries yet. And even then, like, even once that condition is fulfilled for Archmaester's Key, it has to be an event that you can actually use on your side. So you could have an event like Risen from the Sea. My hand, you dope. Mine. You can never have my cards in your hand. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't, you know, Risen from the Sea is a Greyjoy character only, so he would not be able to use that on his side of the board. Although Risen doesn't go into the discard. But then you've got stuff like Consuming Flames. He wouldn't be able to use Consuming Flames because he would have to discard a Targ card out of his hand, and he's not Targ. He can't use, you know, if you're Tyrell. If I was Tyrell, he could not use my Growing Strong because it only buffs Tyrell characters. Stuff like that. Like, he wouldn't be able to use Treachery, even if I had Treachery in my discard, for a similar reason. He doesn't control a unique Lannister. Actually, he does. Actually, technically, he has the Hound over there, but, you know, typically with this card, you're not going to be controlling a unique Lannister on your side a lot of the time. I guess I shouldn't have spent the gold on Shay, knowing that I would probably end up killing her. But whatever. I highly doubt that it matters. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna do... It's a little bit awkward to trigger everything in the order I want to trigger it in. I guess I'll just do an intrigue with Cersei first. Then I'm going to do military with both of these. Dario's going to take his little steward guy. So he'll have to kill something that's not a one-cost character. Like I had to. I had to kill Shay. Make him suffer. Then Light his Dar will do the power challenge. Did have healing expertise. I guess killing the Benjen makes sense. Because, you know, he has an ability that triggers off dying. But I'm also fairly happy with him killing a 5-cost character for military claim. If he really wanted to do that. I guess I'm favored in the game at this point. I mean, I'm not going to say that 100%, but I definitely feel good about my chances. Just because my deck actually, like, at least has a fair amount of good cards in it. His deck, he's, like, using bad cards. He's using Archmaester's Key, he's using Old Town Scholar, this is a bad card. Glass Candle, that's a bad card. These weird, like, Corset, Jon Snow, and Ghost, who don't seem to be accomplishing much of anything. I could do First Snow, get the Hound back. It's okay, I still made the right choice. I kind of figured there would be either that card or, like, Morghulis. Still did the right thing. I think I'm actually going to send his Dar to the bottom here, because I'm going to be pretty overloaded on gold. Probably keep Jaime and Cersei. He's also, like, using, you know, like, Bay of Seals. That's not accomplishing anything. He's definitely just using a very questionable deck. I do like to see people play weird stuff, but his deck goes into the realm of being so weird that it's, like, it's also not doing anything particularly impressive. What I really want to see is something that's both weird, it's something I haven't seen before, and it's, like, at least a little bit effective. Maybe it doesn't end up winning all the time, but, you know, I can be like, oh, I see what you tried to do there. Like, with this guy's deck, I legitimately am not sure what he was trying to do. One of the best examples that stands out in my memory of the recorded games that I've showed on my channel was Veteran Builder. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Someone who was playing like a Baratheon. What was their agenda? I can't remember what their agenda was. It might have just been wars or something like that. But it was basically like a Baratheon smuggler warship deck with a pinch of powder. And he like used the stealth and the strength buffs and stuff like that to pinch me and totally screw me over. I can't really remember everything off the top of my head, but I remember it was like something fairly unique that I hadn't really seen before, and it beat me up really badly. I was pretty impressed by that. I'm not putting too much thought into my plays at this point because I think it just doesn't matter. I just have way too much junk. I'm gonna run him over. Don't need second sons without flea bottom. Sure, let's put Robert Strong in shadows. Who cares? Then, do I need Jorah Mormont? Not really. I can just buff Janos if I want more military or intrigue strength. Don't really need to marshal Jorah. This makes it more likely that I can trigger Robert Strong at a good time. Yes, you do have the option to save the Hound from bouncing if you choose to discard a card out of your hand. So he had a pretty straightforward challenges phase laid out for him last turn. This turn I'm not sure what he's supposed to do. Because Ghost, regardless of which character he stealths, he cannot actually win a military. Because I can just pay 1 to buff Janos and he can defend. And there's like no way he's ever winning an intrigue. He has to use the Hound to have any chance on power. If he actually attacks on power with the Hound and Veteran Builder, I can't block it. But that's still just got to be very unappealing. Because he'd be using the Hound's force reaction just to win a regular power challenge. Wouldn't really do anything special. I guess this is one way he could try to win a military. And I definitely don't want to kill any of these characters, now that I think about it. Maybe that was a reason to marshal Jorah Mormont. Because I think actually if he stealths Janos Slint, I can't defend this. That kind of sucks. Should have put a little bit more thought into it. Wow, really? Does he not realize that I can buff Janos Slint by 8 strength? Guess he doesn't realize that. Maybe he has nightmares or something. Gonna let me buff him up to 8 strength and then play nightmares would be funny. Yeah, I definitely should have marshaled Jorah just for the claim soak. Luckily, I am getting away with it, but that was a misplay. Otherwise, I'd have to like kill Cersei or the Eyrie with 2 gold on it or something like that. It's not great. How is that sly? Look at this guy, he said, "You sly mother." It's not sly at all. It says on the card that you can do that. Oh, goodness. This guy's a real joker. I guess he wasn't accounting for the fact that I could get one more gold off of the gold road. So he probably like counted it up and was like, oh, he only has 3 gold. You can't buff him up enough to defend it. Except that I can. Well, now he can't win any more challenges. Feels bad, man. That does stop me from using Robert Strong, but I don't really need Robert Strong. Can always just use him later. Oh man, what plot should I do now? I guess we'll do first snow. It hits nothing on my side. Oh, Erie. But that's fine. And hits 4 things on his side, including a card that will come back to my hand instead of his. So yeah, it looks like a first snow. Tears of Lees, that's spooky. I think I've literally had 0 characters in play at any point during the game that didn't have an intrigue icon. Yep. Every character I've marshaled has had an intrigue. I guess that's one nice thing about being Lannister. None of your important characters... Whoa, what the hell? Okay, he got me on that one. None of your important characters are ever really vulnerable to Tears of Lees. That's a card you don't see every day. Sir Alizar Thorn. Kneel your faction card and pay 4 to put him into play after a military is initiated, and then all your Night's Watch get a military icon while you're the defending player. Well, he got me on that one. That's okay. Not winning this military is not a big deal because, like I said, I'm just going to do first snow next turn anyways. So saving his like steward at the wall for military claim doesn't really mean anything. If I had 1 gold, I could have treachery'd that, and then he'd feel bad. I guess I was supposed to do an intrigue first to play around that. If I had done intrigue, then I could have had a gold for treachery to cancel that. Misplay. The reason I also knelt Tyrion for this challenge is what I was going to try to do is use Tyrion twice with the gold off of Erie, which I mean I'm still going to do that. But the idea is I was going to get 2 unopposed challenges by stealthing Kedri both times. This way I'll only get 1 unopposed challenge. How sad. The single most ironic use to keep the hand in play. Nearly. I don't understand what he's saying. Yeah, I don't have any ally characters, so whatever. Gotta do this. Whoop. Oh, maybe he's saying it's ironic because he could have used it to keep the hound in play. Maybe he meant to say the hound there instead of the hand. Although the hand could also mean the hand's judgment. Quite a confusing statement. But basically it's ironic because the art on Dissension is literally a picture of the hound. So I guess it would be fairly thematic if you discarded a card with the hound's face on it to keep the hound in play under your control. Maybe I was supposed to treachery Eastwatch, but honestly at this point, he can have it. He can have the card draw. Don't think it's a big deal. What? What the hell? I freaking got me again. Forgotten plans on my first snow. I've literally never seen that happen. I mean, first of all, how often do you ever see anyone play Forgotten Plans? And then second of all, how often does it actually go off and stop something? That's pretty cool. Props for that, I guess. I mean, he has a bad deck, but he's freaking good at plots. He's gotten me twice on these plots. Varys' Riddle on Summer Harvest, and now Forgotten Plans on this. Okay. Sorry, bro. I have to do this. Get out. Now what? I don't really need 2 treacheries. These treacheries have been useless the whole game. Milk seems pretty useless. He's never had anything good to put that on. Second Sons are also not useful, but we can just mill them if we don't win this turn. Could Marshal Jorah this time? But I think I'll just hold him so I can use Robert Strong. Seems correct. I've forgotten Plan saved his butt too. All his stuff was going to get bounced. I think he's still dead. Alright, we're going to start with intrigue using Janos Slint, because he has almost no intrigue strength. So it'll be very easy for him to intimidate something. Like, I'll get the Tyrion gold, and I'll be at 6 gold. I can buff Janos by 1 to guarantee that he intimidates something on the other person's side. I don't really care what it is. I just want to use the intimidate. And then I'll have exactly 5 to use Robert Strong and try to get another unopposed so I can win. His power claim, Jaime's renown, and 1 unopposed challenge is 15. So I can use Robert Strong to murder a defender that he tries to declare at some point here. Yeah, I'll actually just go ahead and intimidate Maester Kedry because he has 2 icons. So it'll be a lot easier to get unopposed with him out of the picture. Also, he has a duplicate, so I can't murder him with Robert Strong. This way the power challenge should be unopposed, using Robert to kill whatever he tries to defend with. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. This seems correct. Then once Robert Strong is in play, we can do a 13 strength military challenge to get Jaime's renown for the killing blow. Could have also used Tyrion on the intrigue, but I don't think that would have done anything really. Definitely have more resources than we really need. We also have this Eerie gold, and there's like nothing that I really need to use it on that would matter. Oh, you just didn't defend it. Okay. That's fine. So I can also just declare a military with Jaime. And if he tries to defend with the Hound, I can just kill the Hound with Robert. And these other 2 guys are not enough to defend it on their own. Doesn't defend. Maybe he knows this is Robert Strong, or he guesses and he's like trying to play around it. But this also just gets me to 15 power, so maybe he also just wanted it to be over. Don't blame him. The game was pretty well decided at this point. give him a couple comments since he was a very good sport. Like I say, even though he has a very weird deck, it honestly seems like quite a bad deck to me. At least it was a little different and he was a good sport about the game. So, I gotta give him props on that. Gotta give him props. Yep, well, we have a pretty good track record with this Landing Dragon. Did we win all 3 games with this? I'm trying to remember what I played against before this one. Oh man, what was it? I literally can't remember. Because the first game was against Targ, and I like derped it out. Yeah, and then the second one, it was somebody that got screwed by First Snow. It was another nice watch, and I can't remember what their deck was, but they had like 3 cost characters, and I First Snowed them, and that killed them. And then there's this game. So yeah, we won all 3 with this deck. Apparently this is an OP deck, man. Even frickin' Targ Fealty or whatever it was. I think it was just Targ Marine. Got screwed by this deck. I also definitely did have games when I was just playing casually though, where like, like my Jaime Lannister got killed by Dracarys on the first turn, and then they brought out Drogon, and I was like, well, I lose this game. But those weren't the games that I happened to be recording, so you don't get to see me be salty over that. Sorry, maybe next time.